Assalamualaikum. Okay, so for today, we will discuss the next market structure, which is a monopoly. Okay, so look at your handout. Okay, tengok handout masing-masing. Okay, so for monopoly, monopoly in the Latin word, mono is single, poly is seller. So it's only have, sebab tu dia punya number of firms, it's only have one seller. Okay, one seller. Okay, dia seorang je penjual untuk barang tu lah. In term of control of a price is considerable and the price and it is a price maker. So the seller can influence the price lah. Dia boleh determine harga. Okay, nak naikkan ke, nak turunkan ke. Okay, and in term of product, the products are unique. Okay, which is there is no close substitute. Okay, barang dia unik. Okay, tak ada pengganti, tak ada orang buat. And in term of degree of entry and exit, it's blocked. It means it's very difficult to enter the market. Okay, nak masuk pasaran ni sangat susah. Okay, it have its own barriers. Okay, so after this I will explain what are the barriers. Okay, apa dia punya barriers lah. So dalam ni dia ada dia punya barriers dia. Ada halangan dia. Sorry. Okay, barriers. Salah lari ni. Okay, ada dia punya barriers. Okay, nanti ada next next slide saya akan explain pasal barriers. Okay, barriers of monopoly. Okay, then in term of price of demand, it's very small. Apa maksud very small kat sini? It means demand curve je it's inelastic. Okay, demand curve is inelastic. Okay, because the products there is no close substitute, maksudnya the products are no close substitute. Okay, barang tu tak ada pengganti. Maksudnya if the price is high, orang still lagi prefer untuk beli barang dia lah. Okay, maksudnya people are less sensitive toward price change for this good. Walaupun harga barang tu mahal, orang still akan demand juga. Contohnya apa? Contohnya TNB. TNB dia provide, dia supply electricity, right? Okay, so even harga tarif naik sekalipun, orang still akan demand. Orang still akan buka kipas. Orang still akan guna lampu. Sebab semuanya perlukan elektrik kan, betul? Okay, sebab TNB is one of the company lah. Kan one of the only one company that produce electricity in Malaysia. Okay, ataupun TM, Telekom Malaysia, yang provide home line, fixed home line. Okay, so this is the characteristic of monopoly. Okay, so apa dia punya barriers? Okay, ni kan, in terms of degree of entry exit, it's very difficult to enter the market. Okay, kenapa dia sangat susah? Okay, because it has its own barriers. Okay, mana barriers? Okay, this one. Okay, for monopoly, first is what kind of barriers? First is in terms of ownership of certain resources of production. Okay, a firm may own certain resources that need to be used in the production of a good. Okay, so it's enable a firm to monopolize the production of goods by not allowing other firms to purchase the resources. Okay, mungkin firm tu satu je yang ada yang berhak memiliki resources tu lah. Okay, example to build like TNB. Okay, yang supply electricity. Bukan senang nak jadikan satu company yang sangat besar yang provide untuk satu Malaysia, provide elektrik. Okay, so maybe dia seorang je yang dapat resources tu. Okay, contohnya lah kalau kita ada hydroelectric dekat Tasik Kenyir kan. So itu resources tu asalnya dia kan hydroelectric kan. So dia perlukan air yang sangat banyak untuk jalan elektrik. So dia perlukan tasik yang sangat besar like Tasik Kenyir. Okay, di antara sempadan 3 negeri, Pahang, Terengganu, Kelantan. So kalau lah tasik tu ataupun empangan tu pecah, so boleh banjir negeri Terengganu, Kelantan tu. Okay, sebab dia sangat besar. Okay, so so TNP dia yang ada ownership of certain resources tu lah. Okay, in terms of legal and regulatory barriers, okay, ownership laws or patent rights can ensure the inventor of a good does not suffer losses. Okay, example, ownership rights to do production technology of a good ensure that other firms do not copy the production technology. Okay, so maybe firm tu dia seorang je ada teknologi untuk keluarkan barang tu lah. Okay, so kalau siapa-siapa yang meniru, so akan dikenakan hukuman lah. So firm tu dia tak akan dapat rugi lah. Okay, inventor of a good does not suffer losses. Okay, sebab dia punya ownership tu in term of technology tu maybe dia dah patent kan. So siapa yang meniru akan dikenakan denda lah. Okay, contohnya mula-mula kalau perasan, kalau perempuan mesti kenal tudung Farida kan. So dia yang first company yang keluarkan tudung layer, betul tak? So lepas tu ramai yang tiru. So dipatentkan. Bila dipatentkan, so bila dipatentkan, sesiapa yang meniru akan dikenakan denda lah. Itu contoh lah. Okay, next is in terms of financial barriers. Okay, if production of a good requires a large financial capital, this can prevent small resources from entering the industry. Okay. Ini contoh aeroplane okay, so firm aeroplane ni perlukan at least $1 billion. Okay, dia punya capital. Okay, so it needs a huge of financial resources lah. Okay, number 4 is ownership of specific production technology. Okay, production of specific good may involve the use of complicated and modern technology and causes firm with limited technological capabilities to be unable to enter industries. Contohnya industri senjata kan, so diperlukan spesifik teknologi. Okay, so firm lain mungkin tak mampu lah untuk memiliki teknologi secanggih tu lah. Okay, dalam industri ni lah. And last is barriers imposed by the government. Sometimes the government imposes certain barriers to prevent other industries from entering an industry. Usually imposed on industry that produce basic necessity good. This is to ensure that firms in this industry are able to implement large scale production. So maybe halangan tu disebabkan oleh kerajaan tu sendiri. So kerajaan yang kenakan halangan tu, example contohnya Malaysia. Okay, contohnya Malaysia kita ada, Malaysia keluarkan beras juga, selepas diimport kita pun keluarkan beras sendiri. So yang kontrol beras ni adalah Bernas. Okay, so so government bagi hak atau bagi kuasa, bagi monopoli kepada Bernas untuk kontrol beras di Malaysia. And then Bernas tu sendiri boleh fokus kepada dia punya large scale production lah. Okay, price discrimination. Okay, dalam masa juga dia practice price discrimination. What is meant by price discrimination? Price discrimination can be defined as a practice where the seller charge different price for a different customer in different market for similar goods and services. So price discrimination ni dia practice where seller charge, okay, harga berbeza untuk customer berbeza dan juga maybe pasar yang berbeza lah untuk barang yang sama. Actually there are 3 types of price discrimination. First degree, second degree and third degree. For first degree, example dia where a firm charge different price for each unit and charge each buyer the maximum price that he is willing to pay for each unit. Example auction. Ini first degree lah, contohnya auction, lelongan. Okay, so people who are willing to buy at a higher price, so dia akan dapat barang tu lah. Okay, itu first degree price discrimination. Second degree, in term of quantity discount, when the goods are grouped into blocks and each block is charged a different price. Okay, example electricity rate, parking rate. Okay, yang ni dia dah hadkan kepada kumpulan-kumpulan dia atau blok-blok ni. Contohnya kalau if you use 100 kilowatts, okay, so berapa tu MB charge, and then another 100 watts, berapa pula di charge. So dia ada group dia. Atau parking rate kan, sejam pertama RM3, sejam seterusnya you kena tambah RM1. And last is third degree. Third degree, when a monopolist charge different price to different consumers for the same good. Example, telephone calls, transportation fare, movie ticket and so on lah. Okay, example transportation fare. Okay, kalau naik bus nak ke KL, contohnya lah harga dia RM20. Tapi untuk kanak-kanak separuh daripada harga tu kan. Untuk warga emas, untuk student, so lain dia punya harga lah. Itu dia third degree, when the monopolist charge different price to different consumers. Okay. Okay, now we want to draw the monopoly curve. Okay, monopoly short run curve and also long run curve lah. So sama juga. Actually for monopoly sama juga dengan profit competition. In the short run, okay, monopoly will earn 3 types of profit. Sama juga dengan profit kan. Short run, profit competition juga dapat 3 jenis profit. And sama juga dengan monopoly lah. So monopoly akan dapat 3 jenis profit in the short run. But in the long run, monopoly will earn supernormal profit. Why? Due to barriers to enter the market. Sebab dia seorang yang jual kan, so dia boleh dapat untung juga dalam jangka masa panjang. But in the long run, dia boleh jadi dia mungkin dapat they will enjoy three kinds of profit: supernormal, subnormal, and normal profit. First we draw the macam biasa. Untuk monopoly, perfect competition kan dia punya AR, MR sama kan, kalau you masih ingat lagi kan. Ini perfect competition kan, yang AR equal to MR equal to P kan, betul tak? For monopoly dia dah tak sama dah sebenarnya. Kalau ingat lagi, saya pernah terang yang imperfect market tu kan. Imperfect market tu monopoly, monopolistic, and oligopoly. Yang ni. So dia punya AR, monopoly, oligopoly, and monopolistic dia tak sama dah. AR bawah, AR atas. Kita dah kira dah yang chapter 6 tu, boleh tengok balik. So the basic diagram for monopoly is lukis macam ni dulu. AR, MR dah tak sama dah. Dah tak sama dah. So first ambil handout masing-masing, lukis sama-sama. First you draw the basic diagram for monopoly. So first kena lukis segitiga terus pun tak apa. So draw the vertical and horizontal line. So here you label as output, and here you can label as a cost or revenue. So next draw AR curve. AR curve ni equal to P ataupun ini juga adalah demand curve. And this is MR curve. Sama macam tadi kan, tak? Kenapa AR equal to P? Because tengok sini. Tengok kolom AR dengan P sama kan? 10, 9, 8, 7 kan, tak? Tapi MR ni nilai dia lagi kurang daripada AR ni. Kan? Sebab harga dia tak sama dah. Then draw MC curve. Where is MC curve? Just do it. So this is MC curve. Now supernormal. Supernormal ni untung lah. First macam biasa juga, you determine the equilibrium point. Where is equilibrium? Equilibrium ataupun profit is maximized when MR equal to MC. So kawan ni MR equal to MC. MR, MC. Sini kan, tak? So here is equilibrium ataupun profit is maximized. So from this equilibrium, we can determine the quantity. So quantity kat sini lah, nak tengok quantity. Tengok selar equilibrium sahaja. From equilibrium macam nak cari price pula. Price nak tengok mana? Bukan sini Bukan. Ini adalah MR curve. Nak tengok price, you tengok pada P curve ataupun AR curve. Sebab AR equal to P. So from equilibrium, where is P? So ni P. Touch je P, tarik tepi. So sinilah harga dia, P, price. Price ni equal to AR, betul tak? Now nak tahu kawan mana kawasan supernormal. So supernormal mestilah AR is higher than AC, betul? Or P more than AC, kan? So mana nak letak AR kelas? AC, AR dah ada. From equilibrium, AR is here, betul tak? Ini AR. So mana nak letak AC? So lukis AC is U shape. So mana lah, gini ke, contohnya sepadam. Tak boleh padam. Boleh padam. Cepat, masa dah nak habis dah. So suruh U shape kat sini. Contohnya lah. So this is AC. So from equilibrium, this is AR. AR atas ni kan? From equilibrium, AC kat mana? Sini kan? Atas sini, bawah ni kan? So this is supernormal profit area. So kita proceed next video. Sebab video ni boleh buat 15 minit sahaja.